It was all too short, and once again it was time to move on, this time to Bali in Indonesia.
I've just arrived in Bali, and this is Kuta Beach. It's lovely, just enormously long white sand. And for the Australians, this is like Magaluf or Benidorm. I love Australia, I love everything about it, but the one problem is it's rather far away from everywhere else. So Bali, and Kuta Beach in particular, is the closest foreign place for them. And so I think that, more than anything, was why the bomb in 2002 was such an enormous shock. And of course there were many British fatalities too. But the reason why it was such a shock to the world is that Bali is such a beautiful place, and the Balinese are amongst the most peace-loving people on earth.
Okay, admission time. When I saw that wonderful Rodgers and Hammerstein musical South Pacific, I thought that haunting song Bali High was about the island of Bali. And funnily enough, I still do, because it evokes the type of paradise that we all strive for in our minds. And although 50 years on, I know that the island in that famous song was an entirely different place, the sentiment is still the same. But my reason for being here is for the special food, and it doesn't come more special than this. I'm told this wall is called Aling Aling, and it's actually designed to suck in all the bad spirits that strangers might be bringing into the compound. And there's well over 30 people living here, so it's essential to sort of rid unknown people of bad thoughts. I must say I could do with one of those at the entrance to the restaurant. Out of all the places I've been to on my odyssey, Bali is the most spiritual. Even the process of cooking the pig is blessed. That is fabulous. I just know, looking at that I will never taste more succulent or crispy, crackling and pork in my life. And watching it, I just thought, when I was setting out on this journey to Southeast Asia, that this is the sort of thing I was thinking of. Wood fire, whole pig, rather hot and sweaty, lovely aromas. I mean, this Babi Guling is it. Babi means pig, and Guling means tumbling or rolling. I mean, his skill is marvellous. I'm just watching him just dampening down the flames, because of course pork is very fatty and it could just all flare up. And it sort of reminds me more than anything of sort of like Tudor England, the roast beef of England, where some guy like this would be right up to the spit, turning it and getting incredibly hot, as indeed he is, just to see that the thing was cooked perfectly. There's no part of life, it seems to me, that's exempt from a religious offering or two, even making the stuffing. It's made with shrimp paste, galangal, salam leaves, coriander and chilies. A try?
Yeah.
That's very nice. Wow. Very hot.
Very hot.
Oh. What he's doing here is cutting one leg off and using that as an offering to the gods. And it's quite usual in Bali to offer a bit of food to the gods before you yourself eat. It's just an insurance policy, really. Balinese culture is the incredible intermingling of religion and food, and I mean this is almost like a religious ceremony in itself, and it's a new sort of dimension to food to me, the sort of religiousness of it. But just thinking, imagine in the Church of England, if you went into church and you had roast beef and Yorkshire pudding as part of the ceremony. I'll be in there every Sunday. Look how thin that crackling is. People in the past have asked me why I don't make a series on vegetarian food. Well, it's because of this. I feel with a lot of cookery programs, myself included, that it's too much about the recipes. Some of this goes in, some of that, stir fry, steam, whatever, and not enough about appetite, about hunger, about the absolute anticipation of watching that pig being cooked over that smoky fire, and the realisation that the skin was going to get ever crisper and ever more delicious. So, here's to appetite, and to me, at the moment, I'm thinking this will be about 10 on the Richter scale. Oh, excuse me, that is the best bit of crackling I've ever tasted. You can taste the smoke in there. Actually, they smoke it over coffee wood to give it really, really dense, aromatic quality, and I can taste it in there. It's delicious. Gosh, it was good. The meat was moist and succulent, and the stuffing, well, it went really well, although it was searingly hot. If you're a coffee lover and you think you've tried everything, a visit to Bali can come up with a few surprises. There's a coffee here that practically defies description. Well, this is a civet cat, and what I'm giving him to eat is what he eats all the time, which is coffee beans. Some very bright Balinese person worked out that if the entire diet of the civet cat was coffee beans, then they must know a thing or two about coffee beans. And indeed they do, because they always select only the very best beans, and they reject the acidic ones or the overripe ones. And then, well, out they come as civet cat poo. And this Balinese person noticed that actually the coffee bean is only partly digested. This is the husk, and inside the bean is retained in its perfect form. So don't think that drinking Balinese coffee from civet cat poo might taste of anything. It only tastes of pure beans, and it is the best coffee known to man, and also the most expensive. Once they're collected, the beans are roasted and ground in the same way as any other coffee bean. I spoke to the cat's owner, who knew all about the subtleties of cat poo coffee.
The civet cat, that is very flavor, so the smell, the coffee is different. So the best beans, they have different smell. So not human, they can do it, and then not computer, they can do it. So they have very good nose, and then they smell different, and then they eat it. But they didn't bite it, they just swallow the bean. They eat the skin only, so like that one. It's very clever animal. So we think we've got these people that can judge coffee and wine and everything like that, but a simple little civet cat can do a better job. Yeah, I love it. Civet cat make a good business right now. Yeah. Well, I suppose this is a Chateau Petrus of coffee. I mean, up to £50 a cup. Poo coffee, smelling good. Astounding. I kid you not. Delicious.